Evening, gang, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live here at Reach on Air.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach on Air.
Hello, my darlings. Welcome along. If you're expecting us on TikTok tonight, the camera kind of fouled at the last minute. I don't know why. I could try again. Do you want me to try again? Shall I try again, just in case some of you want to be there on TikTok? I'll tell you what, I'll give it another go and see if we can get that going. Thanks very much to the delightful Clive for his programme just there on Reach on Air. That's twice today, Clive. I've followed you, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? I've followed you twice today. People are going to start talking about us, aren't they? Oh, a little bit concerned people are going to start talking about us. No, I can't get the... No, that's still not working. No, I can't get that working. No, we can't get the camera working on TikTok, so we'll leave that platform this evening alone. All right, my darlings, and we're just with you here at Reach on Air, and of course on YouTube as well. Well, I mean, what a wonderful sudden blast of summer we're all experiencing, isn't it? Isn't it fantastic? I can't believe it. Where's that come from? Suddenly nowhere. We should have had weeks of this, so can't complain. A few days of really nice weather. And if you didn't get a tan this year, here is your opportunity without actually having to go down to one of those ghastly tanning shops and putting some money in some sort of machine and ended up with an orange tan like some of those people on the telly. David Dickinson rings a bell. He always had a bit of an orange tan, didn't he? Do any of you use sunbeds at all as a matter of interest? I mean, I just think they're so blooming dangerous and cancer-ridden things, and people get terrible skin things. I did have a friend, actually. His name was Andy. I was the best man at his wedding that he had in St. Lucia. This is going back some years now. And he did a lot of sunbeds and stuff, sunbed type things. And he suddenly got this mole appear, and very quickly it got really big, and it had to be cut off him due to the sun machines. That being said, you can still get it from being out in the sun too much, can't you? You know, if you're of a certain skin colour. I don't know if black people are as susceptible to white people as when it comes to sort of skin cancer and things like that. I have no idea. So if anyone knows that, Vera isn't with us tonight. I don't think. She's out somewhere. So there we go. All right. If you're on the YouTube, you'll notice a little timestamp that says 9 p.m. Okay, I won't be going back any further looking at messages than that because it just it's not sort of to do with the show. All right, so where you see the 9 p.m, I'll start from there when we go over to the messages later on. I must thank extremely, with all of my heart, the delightful Gary Ross, who's already sent me a tip in tonight. Thank you, Gary. Nice little tip there. Thank you, Gary. That'll pay for another train fare because I went out Sunday, which was rather nice, I must say. I don't usually go out on a Sunday. Thank you, Clive. There's Clive. He's with us as well this evening. Clive has just been there on Reach on Air. If you want to send us a message tonight, either send us a message on the Reach on Air system, or you can send us a message on YouTube, or send a text on this number.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Okay, that's the text number, 07451 287 337. Gary's already sent a text there, so a very good evening to you, Gary. Yes, Sunday I thought I'd have a little bit of a day out, and I went to Westminster Cathedral for Mass because I didn't have to play the organ on Sunday. The other bloke did it, and it was lovely, actually. The journey, well, I mean, the journey was all right. I love it when it all runs to time. You know, where you've got like interconnections and things like that going on, and that was indeed the case with the train. So my journey was electric scooter up to the station. I locked that up there. Then the train come running along, bang on time. And then from that train, I got a tube train. Was it one or two tubes? I can't remember. Can't remember now. From Waterloo to Victoria, actually. I got off at Victoria. And the cathedral. Remember, that's a cathedral, not the Abbey. Westminster Cathedral, you know. The Catholics don't own Westminster Abbey. We don't. We used to, and we probably will again one day. But at the moment, that is not owned by the Catholics, okay? So we've got the cathedral, which is literally just around the corner. And it was so nice to be somewhere just enormous and lovely. Although I will have to say, it looks like it needs a bit of an update in there, or a clean. You know, there's certainly watermarks on the ceiling where they've had a bit of a leak, and a lot of the paintwork is quite dim, to be honest, you know, and it's just how it is, really. But it was lovely to sit there. The only thing is, on the way from there, I went to Drag Queen Bingo, which is on Sunday nights at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. It's great fun. I do enjoy it very much. The third time I've been. So I got, again, the tube from Victoria to King's Cross. I can't remember if I had to get on 2 tubes or not. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I got on this train. I told the people listening to the show this morning this. I got on the tube and the doors open. It was quite a busy train, actually. So this would be about 5:45 on Sunday night. Quite busy. So these doors closed. And I put my arm up there. I just about managed to squeeze myself on there. And I put my arm up there to hold on to the railing. And I very quickly became aware of a smell in there. And I thought, oh my God, that's not me, is it? Anyway, I had a little sniff of my armpits. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I thought, my God, someone's got bad BO on here. And it got worse and worse and worse, the smell. I've got to tell you. But as with all smells, I think eventually you get used to it. Right? And it kind of goes off a bit. Anyway, at the next station, which I think was Green Park or Green Lane, something like that, the doors opened, and blow me down, all these people that were sitting down suddenly got off. And I thought, well, that's a result. You know, to get a seat on a busy tube train is something else. You know, unless you pretend you've got something. It's just like, oh, I've got this. Oh, can you let me sit down? No, I wouldn't do that. Just stand up. So I made a beeline for the chairs and I sat down, and I immediately became aware that the smell was even worse there. And I'm looking up, and all these people had got off, and another load of people were getting on. And as they got on, I could see their faces where they detected the smell. And then one of them looked down and they said, oh God, there it is. And then I looked down and there it was. Dog poo in the train carriage. The problem was people who were coming on didn't see it, and they stepped in it and walked it through the bleating train. Oh, it was awful. Oh my God. Anyway, before I could get off, these doors closed. And I thought, oh, I can't stand it. And at the next station, I think it was Westminster. At the next station, I jumped out of the doors and went into the next carriage, which was full of people that had got off our carriage 2 stops before. It's the worst smell in the world, isn't it, eh? Oh, my God. Can you think of any bad smells that you've experienced over the years? What awful smells have you experienced anywhere? Tell us where it was and who it was. You'll be able to call in tonight. The phone line's opening up very, very shortly, my darlings. Okay, perhaps you'd like to tell us about the worst smell that you've ever experienced. I'd like to know about that. Send us a message on the Reach on Air message system, on YouTube, or on text message 07451 287 337. All right, evening to George Bond. Hello to Derek Martin. Good evening, Derek. Derek says, good evening, Chris. I have very fair skin and burn very easily in the sun. Well, of course you do. You're Irish, aren't you? The Irish and the Scots, very fair skin. I'm extremely lucky. It's extremely rare that I burn. I have sort of a darker... I tan so easily. My father was exactly the same. He tanned easily as well, you know. Anyway, Derek burns easily in the sun. I need to be sure to wear a hat all the time in the sun, and also wear factor 50 when the sun is really strong, or when on holiday. Oh, I know about the hat one, Derek, and thanks for the message. I have to wear a hat because the balding head, that I say I don't burn. The top of my head does. Well, I mean, it's exposed direct. I mean, perhaps I could have a little small solar panel, placed on my head. Now, that would be a useful... Why hasn't anyone come up with that idea? People with things like pacemakers that require electricity. When you think about it, if you had a small solar panel installed on your head, which at all times, unless you're inside, is facing the sun, isn't it? Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll be up there, it'll be up there, facing the sun, kind of, sort of, if you see what I mean. And you can have wires coming down your ear holes, perhaps through one of your holes in your head, either up your nostril or maybe in your ear holes, corner of your eye, perhaps carefully placed in your mouth, and straight down to the pacemaker, thus making the battery last longer and being kind to the environment. You see? Just stop oil, absolutely. Just stop oil and have solar panels placed on people's heads to provide their electricity. Why stop at the pacemaker? It could come down, you could have a little couple of wires coming out of your wrist, couldn't you? Feeding your mobile phone. Once again, being kind to the environment. No battery required. Huh? Hello to Colin K. Good evening to Colin K. Who's with us. Hope you're well and enjoying the nice weather. Look forward to tonight's show. Thank you, Colin. Yes, here we are on this Tuesday night. Slightly devastating news for you this evening. Are you sitting down, boys and girls? No show next week. Sorry about that. I've been called into the church. They have a meeting for important people. I'm an important person now. Not as important as Shania, as of course you know, she is head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight and now in the south of England as well. She's working up to being head of the Catholic Church in the whole of the United Kingdom when it's time for our cardinal to go. I don't know what his name is actually. Our cardinal. So there we are. So that's why that is. And the meeting is at 7 o'clock. And I'm thinking, it might finish early, but I don't know. So I don't want to take the risk. So someone will probably grab that 2-hour slot pretty quickly and they'll entertain you next Tuesday night. All right, my darlings. Right, let's say hello to some of you on the YouTube. Gary Ross there, as we say. Good evening, Gary. There's Shania. As I say, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. Weird City's there. Good evening to you. Evening to Rob Kershaw. Evening to you, Rob. The number plate on my back, on the back, as those of you that are watching on YouTube, I have a number plate behind me, XAN720. That was my father's first ever car. And it was a green MG, like a Austin Metro type thing. Green MG it was. And that was the number plate. This wasn't the actual number plate. I mentioned it to my nephew, Gary, who's got his own YouTube channel called Project Man. Excellent channel. Okay. And the next time I went up there, he said, I've got a present for you. I said, what's that? And he had it made for me. So there we are. That's what that is, the number plate behind me there. Okay. Weird City. I said hello to Weird City there. Gary Ross, Tangoed. That's the people. Yeah, that's the people who do the old sun. What's it called? Sun lounging. No. Those sun machines. What are they called now? Tanning machines. Awful. I did it once. When I had my flat in Wandsworth, my mate Steve, who was living with me at the time, he ordered one. He said, why don't we get one of those tanning machines? We can all go. There's actually 3 of us living in a 1-bedroom flat. There was me, him, and a bloke called Ian. And I was 27 at the time. I think he was, I don't know, about 10 years. No, he wouldn't have been 17. It would have been 20. And it was Ian, who was about 25. And we all lived there. And he thought it'd be a good idea to get the... I thought, oh, go on then. And we all paid a third. I think we hired this thing for 6 weeks. I think it was the minimum hire. Anyway, I went under it once. Oh, no, not for me, dear. Horrible. You'll get all sweaty and horrible under it. It just feels so totally unnatural, I can't tell you. That's the only time I ever tried it. You got all these people walking around looking orange. Was it Gloria Hunniford looked a bit like that as well? I like her. Gloria Hunniford. I see old, what's her name's been in the news again, hasn't she? Hollowilla Booby. I love this. I love this. It's actually Philip Schofield's story in The Sun, which appeared tonight at 4:30. I don't know how this works. The headline is, Philip Schofield dramatically unfollows Holly Willoughby ahead of the first NTAs. And how do you dramatically unfollow someone? I mean, Was it like a build-up, like a fanfare or something, like Carmen or something like that, playing in the back, and suddenly he goes, boom, and clicks his mouse and unfollows Holly Willoughby. I mean, why has she got that so interesting anyway? Don't get it. Why would you want to follow Holly Willoughby? What interesting things does she talk about? I bet it's all bland, isn't it? It's all a bit bland and boring, like watching Breakfast Time in the morning. Bland and boring on the time. It says Philip Schofield has unfollowed his former best pal Holly Willoughby on Instagram. I'll tell you what, it's an awful thing to split up with a best friend or something, don't you think? Has it ever happened to you? You know, like a big row or something like that. And those two are kind of finished. I've been with someone for so long. A little bit like, I suppose, divorcing or something like that, wouldn't it? I think it would be worse than divorcing. Splitting up with a really long-term friend. It's got to be worse than divorcing, isn't it? It says, seemingly cementing the end of their once impenetrable friendship. Impenetrable. Perhaps they could have come up with a different word there, I think, didn't you? The social media distancing comes ahead of Holly's first National Television Awards, which is another one of those boring shows where they all slap each other on the back, sit in the audience and get drunk together. I mean, how boring is that? It's like the Oscars, all those award shows. I can't think of anything more, but why does anyone watch these things? The only thing good about those award shows once, or on several occasions, was the great Ricky Gervais, who totally and utterly destroyed them all. It was hilarious. Do you remember that? Ricky Gervais, the Oscars, or one of them award shows. He was, I was only watching it for him. It was hilarious. It says Philip, 61, does still follow Holly's beloved sister Kelly, while Holly, for now, still follows Philip. How is this even news? In happier times, Holly and Philip appeared worse for wear on This Morning in 2016 after scooping a gong at the event. Oh, that's right. They turned up and did the show while they were still drunk from the night before, didn't they? Not that I watch it. Anyone watch This Morning here? Dear me, I'd rather poke my eyes out with a rusty old nail. I really would. Texting in there, George Bonds. Hello to you, George. Not quite sure what that's got to do with anything, George, but carry on, dear. Oliver's there. Good evening to Oliver, who's noticed the clock. Yes, the other one kept getting stuck on dates. The clock functioned. It was the dates. They're like those click over things. And now and again it would get stuck. And I got fed up. Oh, it gets stuck. I got fed up, so I took it down and just put that. It's not actually a new clock. That was in the other room, and that other clock's back in the other room now. It just kept getting stuck all the time. Most annoying. Ow, the clock's stuck, so I couldn't be bothered with that anymore. Evening to Mandy Davenport, the lovely Fran Green with us this evening. Chloe Ramsey. Hello, Chloe. Welcome along to the show, sweetheart. All right. Where are we? Scrolling down here. Nice and quickly for the name checks. As always, gang, if I miss your name, I have to scroll fairly quickly because you're all talking to each other there. All right. Dan, I've been sick on the tube. I bet that stank. Did it smell, Dan? Oh, how awful. Smelling on there. Oh, no. There's nothing worse than, well, I say that. I say there's nothing worse than the smell of sick. That dog dirt in the train carriage the other day really was something. Awful. Just awful. Dan has been sick on the tube in the driver's cab. When you were invited in, we had to open the cab door and throw up on the opposite line. My God, man, how can you get, why were you sick? What made you sick on a train? Dear me. Awful. Anyone else experienced awful smells like that at all, I wonder? Hello to Adam the plumber. Hello, Adam. The clock has been there for 20 years. It was not there for 20 years. It was about 5 years. Oh, dear. Right, going to play you a little song, and then we'll open the phone lines, all right? Now, those of you listening on Reach On Air, you get the normal music, okay? If you're watching on TikTok or Facebook Live, you don't get normal music because of copyright restrictions. And I've mixed the music up a little bit as well on the on the Reach on air today. So I hope that's okay with you, boys and girls. The brand new...
Got an ache inside of me. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I seal it? You're like an ocean without land. Not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold yet warm. When you hold me, when you close, I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray. Hope it's the last thing that I need. Wanna feel something that's real. With you I get that. You're like a lighthouse in a dream. Really distant but your beam is guiding me home. So cold yet warm. When you hold me, when you close, I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray.
Hit you with the text on XO. My ace boom boom, no flex, no. I won't gas you up like petrol. Just trying to take you way up where the jets go. But you didn't notice that. Keep clocking all my hours, I told you that. Work now, play later. But you keep going off on me. Keep texting like it's all on me. Yeah, you're all in my head like you're my forever, not for right now. My day one, you hold me down.
Welcome along.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach on air.
All right, boys and girls, some of the smells that you really hate. Mandy Davenport, a newborn's first dirty nappy. Oh my God, they stink, don't they? I'm very fortunate that I've never really had to do it. Well, I did actually twice. I think I've changed the nappy twice and there was no poo in there. It was just wee. Thank God for that. I don't know how people do it. I don't know. If you're a mother, you'll know exactly what I mean. If you want to call in now, the phone line's open.
Call in now, 020-8144-3477.
Got quite a few things you can talk about this evening. How about the world's worst smell? Wherever you experienced a bad smell. Gary Ross says vinegar pits. Oh, dear. You do wonder if some people actually do ever shower, don't you? I mean, some people just absolutely stink. Could you tell someone that they stink, though? You know, that's the thing. There was a particular person who used to come into one of the karaoke nights. I'm going back here a very long time, at least 8 years. And my God, he would be in this bar. And the entire bar very quickly would smell of his BO. It was awful. I think the doorman eventually went over and told them. Just horrendous. You know, I'm very aware of when I smell. Sometimes, certainly at church, actually, sometimes I get there and I'm playing the organ and I might lift them. I haven't put my spray on them very quickly. Probably not as bad as I think it is, but, you know, you do notice that, don't you? Anyone talking about smells there, I wonder? George Bond says, I hate the smell of horse meal. Well, is that like the stuff that they eat? Horse meal? Okay. Horse poo. And, do you know, it's not too bad, horse poo. I say that, but when I'm up at the caravan, there's a couple of times in the year where they seem to chuck horse poo all over the fields, and it's just too much. And everything stinks. It's got this sweet, sickly smell. Horrible. I'll give you that phone number once again, gang, if you want to call in. Phone number's coming up in a moment. Okay, stand by. I'll give you that. Fran, I broke a free-range egg that hadn't been checked. That was definitely wrong. Smell was up my nose most of the day. Yeah, you do to get that, don't you, Fran? Certain smells, you smell them, and that's it. They're up that nose. I wonder if it clings on to the edge of your nostrils or something like that. And perhaps when you go in a swimming pool, you get all the chlorinated water up your nose, which is actually quite. I feel quite clean after I've been swimming. That clean chlorine type smell. I mean, if you had something like Fran and bad egg smell up your nose or something like that, and went swimming afterwards, I wonder if that would cure it. Here's the number again.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
All right, Stuart's there in Germany. Good evening, Stuart. Welcome to the show. Bad smells. Stuart says, evening all, bit late to the party. Lovely warm weather here today in good old Germany. Did some grocery shopping this evening. I noticed that they've started selling Christmas stuff. Oh, you're way behind us, Stuart. I think the Selfridges Christmas department was open weeks ago. I think it was one of those big shops. Selfridges, Harrods, one of those places. Maybe Fortnum's. I can't remember which one it was now. Gosh, you're way behind the times there, Stu. Blimey, mate. Blimey. Any other smells? Gary, one of the ex's raspberry ripples smelt and tasted like curry. Really? How awful. Dreadful, dear. Dreadful. Fancy doing that to ice cream, Gary? I'm assuming you mean ice cream there, dear. Stuart used to hang air fresheners from a colleague's table lamp. He never got the hint. There is some awful smelling people around, isn't there? Hello to Claire. Welcome along to the show, Claire. I think you knew there, so welcome along. Mick Davenport. When our dogs start dropping deadly farts, oh, it's awful dog fart, isn't it? And you never hear it coming, do you? It's not like a human one. We're almost proud, aren't we? Certainly my nephew Gary and great-nephew Harry are very proud to do it loud, as in... usually whilst jumping over and standing in front of me. So I do the same to them. Really loud. Dogs don't do that. They're just suddenly silent, but very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. Awful.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
And look, it is. It's delightful. Ross Patel. I can't believe you're with us on YouTube tonight, Ross. Why aren't you listening on the Reach on Air systems, dear? Ross is there. He's with you tomorrow morning after the 10 o'clock news, gang. And he says, evening, gang. Talking of bad smells, you should go into Sophie, my 10-year-old's bedroom in the morning. It smells like an old people's home. I don't know what she does in it. Who is it? She's only 10. That'd be the feet. Oh, that'd be the feet. I remember my sister, and I don't know if it was both of my nephews or just one of them. No, I don't think it was Jimmy. Gary and my sister and there's someone else, one of the great nephews. They've all got really bad feet. My sister's feet are so bad, and she doesn't mind. She's quite proud of this, I think. She will not take her trainers off when she's at the luxury Waterside Media Centre. She won't take her trainers off. They're that bad. I wonder why some people suffer from bad smelling feet rather than anything else, you know. It's not just feet, is it? It's breath. I think bad breath is even worse than bad feet, isn't it? Derek Martin and Ireland. On the subject of bad smells, chicken poo that they spread on the fields before they plough them. Oh, I must say, I don't know that smell. I mean, certainly by the caravan, it's like horse poo that goes on there. And to be fair, it doesn't last very long. But you can't get away from it. It's like the whole area stinks. It's got this sweet, sickly horse poo smell. And Derek also says a tomcat's pee and some fishing bait too has got horrible smells. Claire Ambler, I beg your pardon, sorry darling. I hate it when you can smell wee. Well, actually, I smelt that the other day while I was walking through Victoria on the way to Westminster Cathedral. Some people, no disrespect to them, I think they were homeless people, and as you went past them, there was just awful smell, you know. I feel sorry for people that don't have a shower or anything that they can go and do, does it? Tommy Hanlon's there. Good evening to Tommy Hanlon. Welcome along to the show there. You do get that smell when people wee outside, though, don't you, Claire? And they always, I think the problem is, Claire, they all want to go in the same place. You know, if you go around a certain corner and you get that whiff, don't you? Actually, the underpasses round here aren't too bad. Another smell I really don't like is weed, marijuana. I can't stand that smell. And it hangs. It's not like normal cigarette smoke. Usually that dissipates fairly quickly. The smell of weed is just awful. And it hangs around there for ages. You go under an underpass and there's this blaster. Actually, it happened on the train the other day. I got this blaster smell, which is not necessarily someone smoking it in the train. They could have smoked it like 20 minutes ago and they reek of it. Reek of it. Ross, horse manure, not chicken poo. He's mentioning there. George says horse meal is when they took it on the field. That's what horse mule is called. I don't know what you're saying there, George. I hate the smell of horse meal. Do you mean horse poo? I don't know what you're saying there. Evening to Peter Lake. Hello to you. He's got us on a 55-inch Samsung telly in his bedroom. Gosh, that's a bit scary seeing me that big in it there. Good evening to Ray Belasco. Hello, Ray. Welcome along to you. Hello, Ray. Adam, do you remember the pub you used to work at in South East London with the bad smell that I sorted out? Yeah, they had a real problem with the plumbing in there, didn't they? There's a problem with the plumbing in this particular place, and it turns out that the wee was leaking out of the sort of, I don't know what you're called now, the discharge pipes, what are they called? You know, where you wee down the drain and a pipe takes it away. It was something to do with all that. Adam the plumber went and sorted it out dirt cheap, didn't they? Don't know whatever happened to Gary there, Adam. I went to his father's funeral, Tony, last year. Was it last year or the year before? And after that, he never answers the phone, which is a bit odd, really, but there you go. One of those things. Stuart came back off holiday one year and the water in the loo had gone. Wow, what a pong. Oh, so you had the water coming up from the sewage pipes into your house. Sorry, the smell, because there was no water to block it. That's what that water is for in the bottom of your toilet. It blocks the smell coming through. Although not snakes if you're in Australia. We got any Australians there today? Any Australians listening to the show? Because snakes come up there, don't they? Hello, Roy's on the line. Good evening, Roy.
Mr. Christopher.
Hello to you. How are you?
am I being listened to by about 3 million people?
Oh, billions, dear. We're in billions. Billions. We don't talk millions anymore on this show. That's for smaller channels like my nephews and my brother-in-laws. This show is like we're in billions. Not like the smaller channels.
I'll sign autographs. After.
Eh?
What's occurring? What's the subject for tonight?
Well, haven't you been listening? What's the point? What's the point of ringing in and saying, "Oh, what have you been talking?" Why didn't you listen to the show for a little bit and then get the gist and then call in?
I'm a busy man.
Well, I'm busy too. Perhaps you should do that next time before you call in. Bye-bye. What a waste of time that is, isn't it, eh? What is the point of sitting here? What's the point of sitting here and people call in and they don't even know what they're calling in about? Oh, I haven't got time to deal with that, dear. Very, very busy here. Jeez. Let's have a look. Sewer pipe. That was it, the sewer pipe, Adam. That's right, the sewer pipe. That was the smell there, wasn't it, eh? George hates the smell of dog poo and cat poo. Very unpleasant. Actually, I'm just trying to work out which is the worst, cat poo or dog poo. And when they're ill, they tend to leave little deposits everywhere, don't they, these poor little things, bless them. Shania, here's another one. Can't stand the smell of fish. Shania, I can't tell you. It was either last week or the week before. After we'd been to swimming, I had something on and he said, I'm going to go and get some fish and chips for myself. So he went down and got some fish and chips and brought them in and ate the fish and chips. And Mark was, I smell of fish, you know. I tell you what, the entire night and the next morning, all I could smell in the living room was blooming fish. Horrible smell, isn't it? Horrible, horrible smell. Ray says I sound like Steve Allen. Do I really? All right. Also, on the show tonight, questionable life hacks. Have you got any life hacks for us? Any life hacks? Let's take another call. Oh, it's Roy Brownlow again. Have you worked it out now, Roy? Hello? Now he can't work the phone properly. Nope, can't hear you. What is the point, dear? I do wonder if we should do away with the phone calls again. Hello?
Chris, I don't like the smell of people on buses.
Why is that?
I know what the subject is now. Why are people on buses? They just smell sweaty, don't they, a lot of them?
Can you give me some examples of smells that you have recognised on the bus?
Oh, sweat. Oh, come on, it's only £1 for a roll-on from the pound shop people.
Exactly. Isn't it awful? I hope you don't smell like that, do you, Roy?
Chris, I carry a roll-on in every bag.
Do you really?
Yeah, every bag I've either got some spray or a roll-on. And actually, this is the story. Today I took my daughter to Nottingham, and there's one, them dodgy shops come in, everything's a tenner.
Oh, yeah,
I bought four bottles of vaporizer, not aftershave or perfume, vaporizer. Vaporizer is the correct word because that's about all the smell of is the vape, and that's it.
Well, that's the other thing, you know. These vapes. Have you noticed them, Roy? You know, when you first smell them, that's quite a nice smell of blueberries or strawberries or vanilla. But then as the night goes on, that's all you can blooming smell, isn't it?
Oh, Chris, not so bad now. When they first come out, it's way in front of you. Smoke one. It's like walking through a fog field.
Yeah. That's right. Do you smoke anything at all?
No, I don't. No. I don't smoke, and I'm happy enough. I don't need anything to make me any stranger. But,
what were you doing? What were you doing with your daughter in? Was it Nottingham? Did you say?
Well, her mum gave her 40. Her mum gave her £90.
Right.
£90.
What, for a birthday?
No, just to go. She got by a school shirt and some pens and bits and bobs for school.
All right.
Does that and the rest was to spend?
Does that buy it all? 90 quid? Is that enough to buy everything, or what? Because I don't know. You tell me.
The school thing from M&S was about £15. The skirt. But she's just clever. She's not a. She's a sensible girl, and I think I've made her that way. She'll go in and shop. She'll buy things. She's not impulse buyer. She'll buy things she wants.
Yeah, good.
She likes colouring and drawing and things like that. So she buys pens and things like that. And I think that comes from Chris. Growing up, when I've always given money. Only right at the beginning did I buy him presents. But since we got to know how, I gave him money and I'd say, right, here's 60 quid. We're going to Derby, Nottingham, wherever.
Yes.
And I'd make him go round all the shops. Yeah, I want that. I say, just look. I'd go round all the shops. Say, right, now we're going back, and you can buy the things you really want.
Lovely. Yeah, I don't waste money like that. But for 90 quid, what would you get? What did she get? One shirt? Did you say M&S?
Yeah, she went to M&S. She bought a school skirt from there. They have to have her school. It's got to be pleats. It's got to be a certain height.
Yeah, but schools used to be like that. My school was really strict on uniform, and if it wasn't as the school specified, you were sent home. End of. That was it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yes.
That was like that at school. In fact, she'd had a nose pierced.
Right.
And I said, well, what do we do about your nose piercing? Because she'd have to put a blue plaster on her nose or something.
Right.
Or she said she's going to get one of them, it's like a clear plaster, and she's going to cover it with makeup so they can't see it or something.
Right.
I can't see. There's a lot of things. You know what annoys me, Chris, talking to schools, is she said to me the other day, she says, is your photocopier working? I said, something. She said, working. I said, why? She says, now we're only allowed to make so many photocopies per semester, or whatever they call it.
Right.
She says, now, because she's into art, she's used all her credits up. I said, well, that's quite annoying because I can understand them, not wasting it, but I paid my taxes for that anyway. But I suppose it's to stop wastage. But yeah, so she bought that. She bought 36 crayons. She said to Chris, I suppose, but she says, I need a rubber, Dad.
Right.
I said, well, I'll take you in the chemist then. What do you mean, Dad? I'll take you in the chemist.
How old is she?
14.
Well, she won't need one of those yet, will she?
No, but she ain't coming out with me.
Listen, did you buy her a very strong umbrella? It needs to be a really strong one. Well, because all the ceilings are falling down in the schools, aren't they?
No, it's a brand new school. It's the old.
Doesn't matter. Might have been using the air. Is it aerated concrete? I think it is. Oh dear me! All the schools are falling down, dear.
That's a brand new school. They've only built it a few years
I'm telling you now, this country must be the laughing stock of the world at the moment. Everything we've got is going wrong. Everything.
They throw these houses up though, don't they? Because they're building loads round where I live now, and all the green belts. They're building loads, and there's some about half a mile away from me. Within 6 months, they're up.
Yeah.
The houses there as well. But 6 months on the old farm. They're up. They throw them up, and there's some across the road from me. They took them up that quick that it floods every time it rains.
Oh, is it on a floodplain?
No, what it is, the houses that's been there years in front of them, their gardens dip.
Right.
So instead of putting a drainage thing where they built the new houses,
yes,
they skipped that. Didn't think about that. Skipped that. So when them gardens get wet, it runs downhill, doesn't it? And it runs into the new houses.
Into the new ones, not the old ones.
No, the new ones.
Oh, what a bunch of thickos, isn't it? You couldn't make it up. It's all about cutting. There was someone on the radio the other night I was listening to. Someone had called in and he says he's been in the building industry. One of the old fellas, 40 years or whatever. He said, I'm telling you now, these houses that they're shoving up now, corners are cut left, right and centre. It's all about the bottom line, not making a decent house for someone. And then years to come, all these places are going to start having big, big problems. That's what he said, and he was a builder.
It's the old houses like mine. It was. Bill, I worked years ago. I hadn't long left school, and I worked at a building site. It's a big shopping thing in the next town.
Yes.
And I can tell you now, Chris, that was thrown up, and all the rubbish we got, we mixed it with the concrete and laid it in the roof.
Oh yeah.
Look, it's rather than pay for a skip deck where they laid it in the
Terrible.
roof. But she's had a very embarrassing day with Dad and his dad jokes and doing stupid things, putting stupid, ladies' underwear on his head in the shop. And
I can imagine how embarrassing it would be to go out with you if I was your child.
yeah,
I can imagine that. Did you say you were putting knickers on your head?
yeah. Put
Yeah, well,
sneakers on my head in one shop.
they're not for your head, are they? Put them on your bottom, dear. That's where knickers go.
Oh,
What?
well, I never knew that.
Well, you should do.
On this show,
I've heard
you learn
that.
something every day.
I've heard that you dress up in the ladies' clothes a little bit now and again. Is that right, Roy?
Only on a Thursday at the
Is that-
special club.
Is it like a little video show that you do at all that we can
No,
watch?
when I go to the special club,
Like
the one I sometimes see you at on a Thursday, there.
like an OnlyFans account or something like that?
Oh, God. No fans account, that mine would be.
A NoFans account. Well, I'm glad you had a nice day out with in Northampton there.
Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah,
Did you have a little
All right,
meal
Chris,
out?
I'll let you go and get on with your hard work. No.
Did you? I was going to say, did you take her out for a meal or what? Or did you have something to eat?
Yeah, I treated her to you know that I've got a mental health support dog that I take out with me.
Right.
It's a proper assistance dog because I have mental health. It's just something in case panic attacks and that. Yeah, so her and the dog went to McDonald's.
Lovely. What type of dog is that? Is it a Dalmatian?
No, it's surprisingly enough, it's an American Staffy. You know the big muscly dogs?
Oh, really?
It's one of those. It's one of those, but I've had it on a proper training course. It's properly
Oh.
been trained, and it wears a vest that says it is an assist. I don't stop people from stroking it, but it wears
Oh,
an
I didn't know
assistance
that.
dog's vest, and that. He knows if I had a bad panic attack. I get panic attacks. I had a bad panic attack the other day. I was just walking to a shop local to me, and it's like the world closes in. It's a horrible feeling. I had to sit down on the grass, and he cuddled straight up to me.
Wow. And tell me, while you're talking to me on the phone, do you ever get a panic attack while you're talking to me on the phone?
No, that I get like a feeling of euphoria. The fact that I can talk to Chris Reardon.
Well, I'll try a bit harder next time then, Roy.
Excited feeling. I think it's called.
Thanks for calling, Roy.
It's been a pleasure for you.
No, not really. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. If you're going to ring in, know what you want to ring in about, all right? Back to the food there. Okay, just for the food there. Weird City says, I hate the smell of food on a bus if someone is eating. I don't like public eaters in confined spaces. Depends what it is, Weird City. Jason Hughes will tell you, he's here tonight, that probably the stuff in Greg's doesn't smell end of, sausage rolls or pasties, anything. Doesn't really smell, that stuff. It's when they come on with a kebab. Oh, my God. And the entire place stinks of onions, doesn't it? When they come on that blooming train or play or bus or whatever with a kebab. Dreadful. Dreadful. Mick Davenport, the worst smell I've ever smelt was one summer. My poor neighbour had passed away and we found them 2 weeks later. Oh, my Lord, that's terrible. Hello to Roy. Good evening, Ray. I beg your pardon, Ray. Hello, Ray. Ray? Where's that gone? No, that's not worked. Daniel. Good evening, Daniel.
Hello, Chrissy.
Hi, Dan. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fabulous.
Are you fabulous, though? Do you look fabulous? That's the thing. Let me just do these two messages. George hates the smell of bleach. I'm not too bad about bleach. I quite, it's okay, bleach. And Rob Kershaw. Hi, Chris. Bad smells. Well, we all have to do this as humans, but really, why is it I always seem to go to a public toilet and someone will come in and use the cubicle next to me, curl one out, and the smell? Oh, no, I hate that. When the cubicles, I don't know about you, Dan, when you're in a public toilet and it's one of those screens rather than a proper wall, what goes from the top to the bottom. So there's always a gap at the top and a gap at the bottom, and you can hear who's next door. But worse for me, Dan, is the fact that they can hear me. I'm not that bothered about hearing their noises, right? Because I can put in headphones. What I'm bothered about is them hearing me if I'm going to make a noise. I don't really smell anything. He says, Rob says, what on earth do you eat for it to smell like that? Is anyone like me and gets embarrassed for someone else in the same toilet as them who is making the squeezing noises to try and pass stalls? I feel like shouting over, for the love of God, eat more fibre. That is an excellent message, Rob. That's got to be one of the best messages of the year. Thank you, Rob. Carry on, Dan.
So,
Sorry?
I'm Chris Reardon.
I'm Chris Reardon. What?
Yeah.
We'll have to do Name That Tune again in a minute. Carry on.
Name that tune at night. Oh,
No, we can't do that on this show, unfortunately.
So, you put me off my stride a bit there.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. It's a Chris Reardon karaoke song, that.
Yeah.
Carry on, Dan.
Yeah, public toilets. Do
you hang around them a lot?
I keep away from them as best I
Do you?
Okay. What I hate about public is why is it right? I mean, Central Station's been quite good, but what I can't stand the sports boat in Stratford.
The what?
About the sports boats, or sorry, the sports whatever it's called.
The
in
sports
Stratford,
what?
Right? The sportsman or sports boat. I think
What's
it's called
that?
The sports. Well, it's a pub.
Oh, a pub, right, okay.
Yeah, I'd rather call it the sports boat, really. It's got three toilets, right? Central Station's got one. Now, it's 3 toilets. Why is it, Chris, that every pub toilet has always at least 2 of them have always got to have a broken lock? And what it was, it's week after week that you go back, and the lock is still broken. I hate this idea of having to sit there doing something, and I've got to get a leg over the bloody thing and actually hold the door in, because there's always some idiot who has got to they'll nudge the door. They start nudging the door. Go, excuse me, get out, and they always start nudging the door trying to get in.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Dan. When I feel the door being nudged, I usually ask them in.
Well, that is you, Chris. You know, that is men of your will.
Is that not something you do?
No. I toilet that's my personal time, personal space.
Right, okay.
In that toilet, to do whatever I want to do,
Yeah.
That's why they put locks on them and they're supposed to work.
Oh.
And I'm just fed up with it,
Well, I'm kind of wondering, you're having trouble meeting someone. I know you'd like to meet someone. Perhaps you should try toilets. Because it's not working in bars, is it? Let's be honest.
Well, the shameful thing, actually, is I remember once in the Stratford bingo with Penny Howe, that they used to have
Does
this
she hang around toilets?
No, she's got slightly more decorum than that. But there used to be, but you might have heard of this bloke, I don't know, because he's funny enough, he's from your fraternity, called Stavros. I don't know if you've ever heard that name. That name rings a bell, but it was this bloke who was apparently gay, and I think he was a bit Greek as well.
Was he very big?
Yes.
Before you carry on, he died a couple of years ago.
I know, yes, she told me.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, but he was once in there, and she was talking to him, and then he went. He asked, "Did I want to?" He called this thing. Did I want to toilet love? And I was like, "What the
toilet love?"
Yeah, that's what he said. He actually said that to me.
I wonder what that is.
In front of Penny as well.
Oh, I wouldn't know what that is, dear.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me what he was going on, and I just thought, not quite, Stratford bingo, a bit.
I don't really know what that is. Isn't that funny? Funny thing to say to someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on, dear.
Yeah, so you actually knew him. You'd heard of him, hadn't you?
Oh, he turned up. He'd come to a couple of karaokes. It was a few years ago now. But he had really bad diabetes, and he just... He was a very warm person, actually. He was actually quite warm to talk to, but he got bigger and bigger, bless his heart, and that's really what done him in. And then he was in and out of hospital with various diabetes type, what do you call them, things that happen to you. And it kind of finished him off, really. But he was a very warm person, very nice.
Nice
person.
He was so big. He actually had to walk with a three-pronged stick.
That's right. Yeah, he had a three-pronged stick. That's right.
Prongs on the end of it. But,
no disrespect.
Anyway, you talk about now. Obviously, we've always had tonight this thing about the sickie on the tube.
Sick on the tube. Yes.
You had the turd I had the sickie.
But it was a little bit worse because I didn't make the turd, yeah? But you made the sick. You made the sick. So that's a lot worse than my experience in my mind. Carry on, Dan.
Yeah. So actually, you did this thing on Sunday. Did it actually happen? Because someone had actually walked it in the carriage on their shoe. And then,
obviously at some point a dog
that's the only way.
a dog had done it. And then people coming into the carriage, every time someone come in, they would walk in it. There wasn't actually much left, but it had been walked all the way up the carriage. Absolutely ghastly, dear. Ghastly.
That means someone must have had a dog with them, and he'd done it actually in the train, and then they just like, one of them usual dog owners always just go, just leave it. We don't have to pick it up. Not my responsibility. And all that.
Well, actually, I think they're few and far between. Most people round here certainly do pick it up. It's quite possible that the dog went and they had nothing to pick it up with, I suppose.
Well,
or I did say that the carriage was quite packed. The dog could have done it and him not noticed. I suppose, really.
Could have done, I suppose,
but most dog owners are pretty good, I find. The only thing is, I tell you what does annoy me is when they do pick it up. Round here, they do pick it up, but then they chuck the plastic bag with the poo into bushes or on the grass. Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well not use the bag because at least when it rains, it's going to go into the ground. Not if it's in a bag. And before you say, oh, it's all right, the bags are compostable. Yeah, not in 10 minutes, they're not. They're not going to be compostable in 10 minutes, more like a few weeks or months. Then they might disintegrate. And in that time, and then you've exposed the poo anyway. So you might as well let the dog go on the blooming grass, if you ask me. Carry on.
Yeah. That's why I'm not really much of a dog person, really. I'm more a cat person because they can bury it. But some dogs are all right.
Perhaps that's something you might like, a little dog mask or something like that. Because you've got the cat collar, haven't you? You've got that awful cat collar.
I know, I've got that catty collar. But
He's got a cat collar. It looks like a cat collar. I kid you not. He's got a cat collar. I noticed you haven't worn that recently.
No, I haven't really given it two thoughts, really, about...
When I was walking through Victoria to the cathedral, there was a bloke with a little leather skirt on. Yeah, not in the cathedral. Yeah, he's just walking around. I don't know where he was going. He was walking across the road. I caught him with my eye. Actually, quite a nice bum, I must say. Quite nice he looks.
Yeah.
Sadly, he didn't look at me,
Oh, well.
Sorry?
Chris, I mean, I'm actually having a wonderful time at Central Station lately with this new bingo, of course, we know it is, but...
Drag queen bingo, yes.
I like to call it, a bit more than... I actually
think my seat's gone down, hang on. No, I keep doing this, and it's only recently this has started happening. There's two levers on my chair, right? And I always have trouble getting comfortable, and if I hook my feet in a certain way, I knock the lever and the seat goes down. Carry on. Are you dead? Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
carry on.
Because you know, Chris, I like that programme So I Haven't a Clue, one of my favourite programmes of all time, which, as you know, isn't on television. It actually has to be on radio because it just wouldn't work on television.
Wouldn't it?
And that's described as, I'm so haven't a clue, the antidote to panel games.
Right.
And in a way, you could say Victoria Sponge is a bit like the antidote to bingo. See, that's what makes it funny, is because, it's so like, it's just like, if anything can do, like, give, like, two fingers to Mecca, I would love it. I just love... I don't know
anyone who listens to Give Us a Clue. Did you say, what was it called? Give Us a Clue?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't a clue.
I'm sorry, I don't know anyone that listens to that. Anyone?
Well, funny enough, it packs out theatres.
Does it?
Because they record it at theatres, 2 shows.
Where do they do it?
It's about... Well, they have 6 shows in the summer and 6 in the winter, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So they have 6 recording venues around the country, and they sell out, packed theatres all across the country. But it's it's just the sort of program that loves to just take the rise out
And
of it. Take the rise out itself.
What sort of people go to these theatres? Are they all kind of a little bit like you, sort of thing? Are they? Or
there's a lot of students, I think, who go who just like to discover new alternative things of life. And
yeah, you see, I'm not amused by alternative comedy at all. I like the old school stuff. Dad's Army, Are You Being Served? Love Thy Neighbour, anything like that I'd be into. Bernard Manning, Jim Davidson, great comedians in my mind. Keith Lemon, oh, please do me a favour. Who is he? How is he even popular? I just don't get it. Oh, I'm very excited now, Dan.
Are you?
Yes, it says here. Look, I'm just excited, Dan. I've just received a text message because tomorrow is a very exciting day for me, Dan. I'm getting a new dishwasher. I'm a little bit concerned about the pipe work. They may not be able to do that, in which case I'll have to get a plumber to come in. And also, they're picking up my electric scooter to have a look at the rear brake because it makes a clonking noise. And the text message says, "Hi. You're one of our first 3 deliveries tomorrow morning. Our drivers deliver from as early as 7 a.m. Oh, God blimey. And we plan to be with you between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. So please make sure you're home and ready to accept a delivery. Listen, if men ever come to my house, in particular Mark Bowles, I'm always ready for a delivery, my love." It says you can track your order in real time from 6 a.m. Jeez, what time have I got to get up for my new dishwasher tomorrow? Blimey. How exciting is that? So that could all be ready and plumbed in by the time I start my show tomorrow morning. Isn't that excellent news?
Well, that is absolutely nice for you, Chris. So we'll still get the broadcast in the morning.
Yeah, I can actually feel that you're pleased for me now, Dan. I can feel you're pleased for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you got a dish? Have you got a dishwasher?
No, sadly, there won't be any room for one. But just for Mick Davenport, no, I haven't got a cat collar on. No, it's just me, this phone, and a glass of cherry wine. That's all that there is here.
Cherry wine. Oh, tell me about that. Does it taste?
Doing next door.
Does that taste of cherries?
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm just going to.
Did you say they make it next door?
No, they only sell it in these bottles for £3.
Oh, I've never had a cherry wine.
Glass-sized bottles. Yeah, I haven't seen the big bottle yet, but if I do, I'll be getting that in trade.
I wonder if you'd be ever interested in doing like as a hobby. I know people make beer. Now, my Uncle Terry, sadly no longer with us. He died a few years ago now. He used to make his own beer in his shed, literally in buckets. Now, I never had it, but he would be drinking this stuff, and it was really strong stuff. It would really, really be strong stuff, But, yeah, I mean, would you sort of ever think about making your own booze, Dan?
You think I'd go into wine making?
I don't really, do people make their own wine?
It's possible. I mean, it can be done. But I'd have to really look into it. It's something I've never, ever thought of before.
Let me just type that in and have a quick look. I mean, I know people make their own beer. You can buy kits and stuff like that. I would imagine Ross Patzelt would do something like that. Make his own, because he likes a good old can of lager, doesn't he? Make your own wine. Yeah. Ross is very much into his garden at the moment. But here we are. Make your own wine. Have you got 20 quid, Dan? You got 20 quid you could spend? Yeah. Well, there's one. Have you got a range near you? A range? The range?
What, that shop?
Yeah, a shop. The range?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Right, let me just click on here. Accept all. Here we go. Make your own white wine. It says, perfect for those that are eager to create in their own wine, the Make Your Own White Wine is sure to impress. Designed to help you create up to 30 individual 750 millilitre bottles. 30 bottles, 750 millilitres. Is that a normal sized bottle of wine? I don't know what that is, really.
Well, Let me think. 500ml is what those cola bottles are in. You know.
I don't know
Those
how
ones
big that
you drink in
is.
your bag.
Anyway. Oh, hang on a minute. It says this all-in-one refill kit. Oh, that's just a refill kit, is it? Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find anything else. Oh, start here. The range. No, there's a winemaking thing. How to make your own wine. Yeah, you can make your own wine. Winemaking kits. Amazon. Do you get stuff off Amazon?
Oh, well, I get Amazon gift cards.
Do you?
Birthday, Christmas, but I'm not really very keen on supporting a huge multinational like
Oh,
that. I think
forget
they're a
that.
bit
Don't get all
I think they're a bit
political.
muddled.
Oh,
I
don't
think
get
they're
all...
muddled.
Well, it'll be somewhere else, but just for example, Wine Buddy Sauvignon Blanc. 30...
Sauvignon,
What?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, Sauvignon Blanc. You can tell I don't drink, don't you? 30 bottle, 7-day home brew white wine making kit, £26.99. I think that's the whole thing there. Wow. So if you can make that for like 30 bottles for £26, so what's that work out at each? That's less than £1 a bottle. But hang on a minute, you'd need 30 bottles, wouldn't you? You'd need 30 bottles. It says kit includes 1 concentrate bottle, 1 yeast nutrient, 1 stabiliser, French oak chips and finnings. Equipment. Oh, hang on. Equipment not included. So you've got to have equipment as well. You've got to buy equipment as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not all so straightforward, you know.
Here we are. BJ's 25-litre premium winemaking equipment set. 30 bottles, $43.99. So now you're talking a bit money now. But I suppose once you've got that, you don't have to buy that again, innit? Huh?
Maybe so. Maybe. I just thought, do they ever have? This is really a myth that people actually tread grapes with their feet.
Right.
Is that an old myth, or is it really?
No, I think people used to tread grapes. You know, you'd be there with your bottle of wine and you just pour it out, well, not really looking. You drink the wine, you get a bleeding bunion in your mouth, wouldn't you? You'd be drinking someone's bunion. Here, someone's here. Where is it? Comic Stee. I think it's Komiksti. Comic Stee says Wilco's used to sell those make your own beer kits. And of course we've just lost Wilco's, which is terrible really. I mean, that was kind of the replacement, although it wasn't, for Woolworths. What have we got now? Bloody Pound Shop. Oh, it was just awful what's going on there. There's a few people making comment here about the wine, so let me just find these and I'll read these out here. Just a second, my darling. Oh, Gary Ross wants me to do a premiere of the new dishwasher. And it won't have a glass window though, Gary. There'll be nothing to watch. Come on, where is it now? Wilco's, there we are. Wilco is still going. Oh, Mandy, I thought they were all closed now. Aren't they closing? Hello to Chelsea Howe. Evening, Chelsea. Welcome along. Welcome along. No, that was it, I think, on the wine thing. No one else is mentioning the wine there.
Chelsea Howe?
Chelsea Howe is with us this evening watching, yes.
No, she's not related to Penny, I hope. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Penny Howe, Chelsea Howe, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Strange and mysterious.
Anyway, Dan, thanks for calling in tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, and I'll see you on Sunday for another big extravaganza.
Drag Queen Bingo at Central Station, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Thanks, Dan. There we are, Dan calling in with his regular nightly call. George Bond hates the smell of public toilets and they have diarrhoea. Oh, don't go on about diarrhoea. There was a story we read out on the show this morning, George, about someone had diarrhoea on a plane. It was awful. Plane turned back. It was dribbling down their leg. You've got to feel sorry for the person that's happening for, don't you, though? Eh? Diarrhea. I'll see if I can find that diarrhea story again. Shall I? I can't even spell it. Diarrhea on a plane, maybe. Oh, let's have a look. Here it is. It's here. I found that straight away. It was Delta Airlines. Hang on, let's just take this call from Ray. Hello, Ray. Hello, Ray. Ray, can't hear you. I'm starting to wonder, this keeps happening, doesn't it? People have to call in twice. Try again, Ray, we can't hear you. It's strange. Keeps happening that. A Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta to Barcelona on Friday night was forced to turn around after a passenger had diarrhea. The Airbus A350 had set out a time on the evening on September the 1st with 336 passengers on board, but was forced to turn around over central Virginia. It says, it's just a biohazard issue. We had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane and wanted to come out. No. Awful. I hope that hasn't happened to you before, Ray, has it? Hello, Ray? No, nothing. Can't hear you, Ray. You got no sound coming through. No audio at all. See, I would think it was me, but the thing is, we just spoke to Dan and we spoke to Roy. Can't hear anything at all from you, Dan. Ray, no noise coming from you. And it rings, so it can't be that. He must be doing something to his phone. I don't know. Let's see, where we're going now. Try once more, Ray. Or maybe turn your phone off and turn it back on again, see if that sorts it out. Ross, on the subject of my delivery, is there an option on the text message to choose how fit you would require the driver to be on the text? Would you pay extra for that service? Absolutely, Ross. We don't want some old codger sort of my age, or indeed your age, turning up. You know, what we want is someone about 35 in an old tracksuit, grey tracksuit. We don't want uniforms. Don't want the John Lewis lads in their green uniforms. We want a dirty old grey tracksuit to turn up. You know, all right, mate, where shall I put it? Pfft, don't have to ask me that, do you, mate? Can't you see where the very large gap is? Rob, here's an idea for a new show, Chris. The dishwasher show. Can you get waterproof Wi-Fi cameras to go inside the dishwashers? Someone's done that, mate. Someone's done that. I've seen videos of that where they put dishwasher cameras in. I have actually seen that. Poor old Ray can't get through. Mick, Mandy does all our dishwashing. I keep telling her it makes her hands soft. Hands that do dishes are as soft as your face with mild green fairy liquid. We like that one. Right, some more of your messages. And if you call in, anyone else who wants to call in, we'll do that a little bit later. Going to play you another little song now. All right.
Guess I was an easy one to fool. Blue-eyed and blonde, just a regular tool. But some things you just don't realize. Even though they're happening right in front of your eyes. I'm not even sure just what went wrong. All I know, I've stayed here for too long. trust. When all that you believe has turned to dust, still you keep on keeping on because you must. Even gold can rust.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach on Air.
Welcome back, gang. Hello to High Grade Gaming. Just joining us there. Evening to you, sir. Nice to have you there. I know someone was told. Oh, the phone line's open if you want to call in.
Call in now, 020-8144-3477.
That's the number if you want to call in about anything. Hello to Paul Finicky. Evening to Paul. We're just talking. Someone mentioned Marks and Spencer's. Who was that? I think it was Roy Brownlow, wasn't it? He mentioned that he'd taken his daughter to Marks and Spencer's to get some school stuff and what have you. Right, let's try Ray again. Let's see if this is going to work now. Hello, Ray? No, we just can't hear you, Ray, at all. See, the noise comes through on the phone, so I know it can't be me because we've taken a couple of calls. We cannot hear you, Ray. I don't know why. We just can't hear you, mate. Can't hear you at all. I'll tell you what, Dan, could you just call in again? Do you mind, just to test out that the phone's working? Just a quick hello, Dan, will do, just so I know it's working, if you don't mind. Unless that's gone wrong, I could restart the phone system type thing, I suppose. Yeah, Roy was talking about Marks and Spencer's, and I must say, I've started buying stuff in Marks and Spencer's now as well. There's Dan. Let's try this now. Hello, Dan?
Right, Chris, can
Yep.
you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay,
Right,
Dan.
now, hang on. What if I press this?
Yeah.
Right, with this handset, it...
Right, and now you hung up. Okay, well, this can't be me then. That's working fine. Ray, there's something wrong with your phone. We can't hear you when you call in, Ray, at all. As in at all, all right? There we go. Where are we? Oh, yes, talking about Marks and Spencer's, weren't we? And I've started buying clothes from there. I recently went to Israel, as you know, and I bought some trousers, 2 pairs of trousers, 3 pairs of shorts, and, yeah, it's very high-quality stuff. I hate to say it, but the shorts that I bought for Israel, which were reasonably comfortable, are now a bit uncomfortable, if you see what I mean. We've continued to increase in weight, sadly. I'm very shocked to have to tell you that. But the old weight has been going up recently. I don't know what it is now. Last time I weighed myself, it was 13. And if it gets to 14 stone, I'll go into deep depression, as I have done before. One of those things, though. What can you do? Just a couple of weeks ago, I was in there with my mate just for a bit of lunch. They do really nice meals in there. And I have like a chili on jacket potato with a bit of cheese on top, a couple of their bread rolls. Absolutely delicious, a cup of tea. Sometimes we have the tomato soup as well, which is to die for in there, their tomato soup. And afterwards we walk around, have a quick look at homeware. And I came across these sheets. Now, I've decided I don't want these fitted sheet blooming things anymore. Because I always find I've got so there's the mattress, there's the bed, then the mattress, then there's a mattress topper, and then a sheet on top. And always with these fitted sheets, they come off the blooming corners, which would be all right if there was no mattress topper, but then they grab the mattress topper and start curling it up in the corners. It's most annoying. Really annoying. Right? So I decided... try that again, high grade. I decided that I'd My mate gave me a really high quality flat sheet, not one with corners. Right, I put that on. I've been very, very impressed with that. But that's the only one I had. The other ones I had were quite cheap, a bit thin, low thread count. And I looked up sheets once, and this one come from John Lewis, £100 for a blooming sheet. £100 for a sheet, I kid you not. Right? So I was in Marks and Spencer's and we come across these sheets. I said, oh, they look quite good. And he said, what's the thread count? And I can't remember what it was. Would it be 500? 520 maybe? Something like that, I think. Anyway, so I kind of pulled the plastic back of it and had a little feel. Oh, these are nice. How much are these? And they were like only 35 quid. I bought one of those. What a difference that has made. What a difference. And you go around your bed, you tuck it under like you used to do. It's only because people are lazy, put these elasticated corners on the side, and it pulls up the blooming mattress topper. So I've now got a nice sheet from Marks and Spencer's. So if you want, and oh yeah, the other day, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I take my sister down to Marks and Spencer's outlet. She likes to go there for her birthday and she gets a couple of little bits and pieces. So I got there. And while I was in there, I bought a lovely blue jacket, which I wore for you the other week, didn't I? Right, let's go to the phone. No, where's he gone now? Christ. Twice he's called up and hung up before I got there. High grade gaming. What's going on with these phones tonight? Nothing's working. Nothing's working there. Paul Finicky is officially addicted to Butler's Empire. That's my brother-in-law and sister's channel. Lots of stuff on there to watch. I think one of the big things is doing the air fryer recipes and things like that all the time. Right. What are you doing with your phone? You keep hanging up.
I don't know. I keep hanging up thinking it was ringing. I apologise, Chris.
Hey, hello. How's Hemel Hempstead tonight? Is it...
quiet for a change, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, surprisingly quiet.
Oh, no one around. No motorbikes going up and down the shopping centre.
Not apart from myself about an hour ago. No.
Have you got one, have you?
I've got a pit bike. It's like a little mini dirt bike.
Oh, right, okay. Tell me, here's a question. As you've got one of those bikes, right? It just seems to me, the smaller the bike, like those 50cc things, why are they so blooming noisy?
They're usually classed as the 125, the smaller motorbikes, but they're noisy because they're designed to be noisy and sound mean and sound awesome. That's pretty much it. It's just loud and proud, as they say.
You see these little boys on there, right? And they don't look mean and nasty to me. They just look like they want to take something out and make as much noise as is blooming possible, upsetting me while I'm trying to prune my roses.
I'm 38 years old, Chris, and I've been riding one today. If you look at my TikTok, I've got proof of it, of the bike that I actually use. It's on my TikTok channel because I've done a little bodge on it on my engine so I could use it. So you can probably get a glimpse of the bike on my TikTok channel, but yeah.
Oh, right. Would you consider getting an electric one?
I've got an electric scooter,
right.
one of the decent ones, but I modified it. I modified it on an app on my phone, and I basically broke the battery on it, so I've got to replace the battery, which costs about 120 quid.
Have you I don't know what you call it, de-speeded it or whatever the word is?
Yeah, I basically tried to modify the speed on it, but what it is...
serves you right.
I made it think that it had a 50-volt battery in there when it only had I think it was like a 30-volt battery, so it blew the battery up, so yeah. But I have got a scooter, yeah. They're brilliant.
When you say blew it up, did it literally catch fire? Was it one of those...
No, the batteries on their own have a special fuse board, just on the battery alone. Right. Underneath the casing, they have like a little fuse on it. It's called a Z fuse. So basically, if you do what I did, it doesn't catch fire. It just blows the fuse. You've got to really be dab-handed in soldering and a steady hand to try and replace that fuse, which I tried and I failed.
You must have a decent one then if it's got that board in it, because I've seen some terrible videos of the cheap Chinese ones. Well, I mean, most of them come from China, but they're made differently, aren't they? Depending on specifications. But a lot of the cheap ones, and this is why the batteries catch fire. And people put on a charger that is not matched up to the battery, and they leave the damn thing plugged in all night, and they explode.
That is correct, but may I add that you can have the correct charger. And to be fair, Chris, it's the lithium batteries in all the cars, the Tesla cars, in your phones, in the scooters, in your laptops, in any sort of like toothbrush you've got. They're all lithium batteries nowadays. And unfortunately, they do have a habit of blowing up, and it's just they're uncontrollable. The elements in the battery are just uncontrollable. So if you left it on charge just for that slightly too long, it could be fine. Some cases it would blow up. Some cases nothing would happen. It's just they're what's the word? Not unreliable, but you can't think what's going to happen next to the lithium batteries. So it's not just scooters. I mean, if you put your phone on charge and put it under your pillow, you're asking to have your pillow set on fire, because the battery will get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah,
it's not
well,
again to interrupt, but the fuse on the battery probably stopped that incident from happening. Because, again, maybe because it was a slightly more expensive scooter, they had that function where they had a fuse on the battery.
Yeah.
If you buy a cheaper version of it, there is no fuse on that battery, which sets fire to your child's room. And,
it's frightening. I've seen some of those YouTube videos are frightening. I was watching one today, and it's a particular problem in China, so much so that they've taken all not the scooters that you and... What scooter have you got, by the way? Can I look at it? What's it called?
I can send the picture eventually. It's called an Exomi. That's it, an Exomi Essential. That's it, Exomi Essential Pro. And it's one of the very first when they first came out, the electric scooters. But it was the good version of it.
Right.
But you know what happens when you make something and then you try and reenact that product, they get worse. So I've got the good version of that scooter, and then they start getting crap with the battery reliability and, again, things blowing up and stuff. I managed just to get that type of scooter at that.
I can see them now. Electric scooter Pro, 662 quid one there. Is that about what? Yeah. Is that about your one? Is it?
Has it got a red brake cable?
Yes.
Is it red?
Yes, it has. Yes. A red line around the outside of the wheels as well. Oh, it's nice. It's nice.
And I was a twat and tried to modify it and blew it up.
Oh, mate. I noticed that they do refurbished ones as well. £179.
Oh, for the battery?
No, for a refurbished Xiaomi. How'd you say it? Xiaomi, is it? Xiaomi My Electric Scooter Essential. Let me see if that's with the red one.
It's the Xiaomi Essential.
That's not got a red cable though.
You have to do Pro. You have to put the Pro on the end.
Yeah, because I've got one now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I got pure.
When you was last away on when you put the music on, I said, "Where's Chris?" I said, "No doubt he's had a nap because he's been swimming on his electric scooter."
Yeah, I've got mine. They're coming to pick it up tomorrow because when I hit the back, there's only one brake, and I don't really like that, to be honest. I'd rather it had a brake on each side, So if one, you got the other.
You have to get an app on your phone. You can get an app on your phone rather than pay someone to do it, and it synchronises to your scooter. And then you put the front wheel is your motor, and that also has a brake on that motor. So the back wheel is adjusted like a push bike, where you can adjust it with an Allen key, and you can adjust it to be tighter or looser. But the front wheel, the motor also acts as, not only does it act as recharges your battery, so when you're deaccelerating, when you take your finger off the accelerator, when you're going downhill, that will actually charge your battery up. I don't know if you realise that. It actually generates charge and charges your battery up when you're actually going
I didn't know that. Except I think mine's the other way around. I'm pretty sure the motor's on the back because it's got the brakes are drum brakes and you can hear them. You can hear them rubbing as when you pull the brake. Anyway, what's happened is that when I pull the brake after being at speed, there's a clonk in the back somewhere, and it's something that's jumping up and hitting the footplate. And I looked underneath, and there's a cable, and there's like a connector there, and I think somehow that's jumping up and hitting the footplate. Anyway, I sent them a message. What can I connect? Is there anything I can try and do rather than sending it back? And they said, send us some photos. So I sent photos. And they said, well, as it's the brakes, we'd like to have it back and look at it. So they're coming tomorrow to collect that. I was a bit worried I wasn't going to get it in the blooming box. But, yeah, I managed to get it in the box all right, But
has it got a chain on the wheel, or is it all like one part, like electric, or one part?
It's all one thing.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, no, you do best to get it checked out by professionals. So don't take my advice.
Yeah, so they're coming tomorrow. Pick it up free of charge, of course, because we're still under warranty, and they'll have a look at that. But I've been really pleased with it. It's such a fantastic way to get around.
I'm just picturing you now with a replacement insurance mobility scooter.
Oh, don't! When I was first looking for a scooter. It was because I was a bit against them, and then we went to Israel. You probably know the story. I tried. We got a higher one there because we were a bit we were a bit away from stuff where our hotel was, and we didn't really want to get a blooming cab all the time. And the walk was a long walk, and they had these little scooters outside. So they're for hire, yes. So we tried them, and within 10 seconds, I'd fallen in love with this mode of transport. Completely, and I thought I've got to get one. And I'd come back here, right? And I put on my Facebook, has anyone got electric scooter? What ones have you got? And honestly, 75% of the comments were, "Oh, they're illegal here. You mustn't ride them." I didn't ask to be judged. I'm
glad you put this topic. I'm glad we can talk about it, Chris. This is a brilliant comment. This is a brilliant comment you just said, and I'd love to talk about this. See what your chat says about this. But this is when you say it's illegal, right? Your comments say it's illegal. Now, this is what I've seen in the reality of owning a scooter, riding it at 38 years old now, right? And obviously I've broken it recently. But when I was on it, right, the children used to get harassed by the plastic police and the police. Also, when I see the middle class, middle aged people using it, commuting, they used to get left alone. And then you get someone like me. I'm a bit rough around the edges, I'm a bit chavvy, as one would say. And then they used to bother me. They say you can't do that. And then what gets me, Chris, is then you get like the upper class in the suits and boots. They won't bother pulling them over.
No.
Right? But then it gets better because then Boris, when he was in power, but it's okay for Boris to do rental scooters, completely legal, as long as you're paying the government. The government just don't like you owning your own mode of transport that's cheaper than getting a bus by charging it at your house. And they don't like it unless you're renting it from them, because that's where the laws and the discrimination in age and what the police do pulls certain people over. Like if I saw you going down on a scooter, Chris, with your little helmet on going swimming, and I was a policeman, I'd be like, that is epic. I'm not going to pull him over. If I did, I'll give him a high five.
I haven't been.
If you saw a little chavvy guy with a little Nike bag doing a little drug deal on a scooter, you're going to pull him over.
That's a different thing altogether. You see,
it's discrimination. So it doesn't matter if it's illegal or not.
No,
it's all down to.
And when people are saying they're dangerous, the scooters are not dangerous. It's who's riding them. And being a bit older. Right, being a bit older, when I come across, because we have a really good cycle network around here, don't need to go on the roads anywhere, not anywhere, right? And when we have a crossroads in the path and there might be a building in front of it, so you can't see if anyone's coming the other day, I automatically slow down. When I'm about to turn right, I look to the left and I look to the right. When I'm about to cross a roads, I'll stop or slow down and have a look left or right because I'm older. When you go to London and you see some of these kids on these scooters, and they're not necessarily 18, anything up to about 30, and I saw it the other day. I saw it the other day on Friday night, and it happened several times where these people on scooters and bikes on the Euston Road, so you're on an extremely busy road full of traffic, with extremely busy roads full of traffic as crossroads, the lights go red. They're red. Yep. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. The other ones have gone green. The traffic starts moving, and these people scoot across the road. I kid you not, they don't even glance to the right. They don't even look. It's like there is no lights there, and it's frightening, and I don't understand why more people aren't killed.
Yeah. And let me just say something while you're on that subject. When you said you don't know why why they don't get in trouble, or Chris, we've got a right to ride these vehicles, yeah. And the way that I see it is, if we want to step on an electric scooter, unless you don't have common sense, so they should come with a little sticker saying, if you don't have common sense, don't use this product or this product. So what it is, but it's all down to common sense. But the thing is, then teenage kids would then jeopardise the reputation of e-scooter riders.
Exactly.
You be riding safe with your helmet on, abiding the rules, looking left and right, and you might one day get that knobhead copper that will pull you over and just be like, I've seen kids getting smashed left, right and centre. You could protest your innocence saying, look, I've put my life, I choose to get on this scooter. If I crash, it's my decision. If I be safe, it's my decision. Who are you to tell me that I cannot ride this scooter for economic reasons, to save the environment, to save my bank account, and to get to swimming, which is 40 yards down the road or 100 yards down the road.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, I've seen teams. So it's one of them ones we see in Parliament. Like, they're bad, they're good. They're bad, they're good. But then it's good for them to rent them out.
But
honestly, Chris, keep your head held high. Keep riding your scooter and just make sure you've got safety.
I love it.
You know,
I've got the helmet. I also went out and bought some of those, they're only cheap, they're only about £5, plastic glasses. Because once you've had a fly in your eye, you want a pair of those glasses. Have you had that? A fly in your eye?
God. Oh my God, Chris. I was riding my pit bike today.
Awful.
And I was on the phone to my boss when I just got off my pit bike, put it back into my back garden.
Yeah.
Got off the bike, took my helmet off, and I had the biggest fly in my eye.
Oh.
And I was effing and blinded. It's funny you said that because this happened to me literally about an hour ago. And he goes, "What's the matter with you, Jordan?" I said, I've been on my pit bike. I've got a fucking fly right in my eye. There it goes into
Swearing! No swearing!
No, it was plucking because I was plucking my eye.
Plucking, is that what you said? Okay, carry on.
Yes, I was plucking my eye because I had a fly in my eye.
Let me say something to you before you go, and I'll see what your reaction is on this. So you're on your scooter. Ready? Extendable dog leads.
Love it. I'd have my missus strapped one straight away.
Oh, they're so annoying. The dog's on one side of the road, you're coming down the road, and the person with the dog, or with the other end of the lead, is on the other side of the road. And they can't...
Do you have a bell?
Eh?
Do you have a bell?
Do I have a bell? Yeah, ding, ding. It's only a little bell. Ding, ding.
That's another thing about scooter riding, Chris, before you go, is you have to be aware of what's going on before. You have to predict the future. If you see a dog with an extension lead, you ding ding to make sure.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah. Doesn't help when they got headphones on. Thanks for calling in, Gary. High grade. What's your name?
Thank you. It's John. Well, High Grade Gaming, and my real name's John.
Thank you, John. See you soon.
Thank you, Chris.
Cheers for the call. There we are, John calling in there about his electric scooters there. Let's just go back here for a moment, my darlings. Gary Ross, I watched a video on YouTube yesterday. Devon police released of 2 cycling speedists speeding in a 30-mile-an-hour road. Yes, during nearly 40. I saw it. But don't know if you watch this bloke on YouTube. His name is Black Belt Barrister. Anyone watch him? He does all laws. Do you know cyclists don't have to stick to the speed limit? Watch him. And he came out with all these bits of paper, you know, with all the law and all that. Cyclists apparently don't have to obey the speed limits. Lights, yes. Speed limits, no. Believe it or not. Have a look at him. Find him on YouTube. His name is Black Belt Barrister. That's the channel on there. He's really good. Really good. Comics D says the under-18s who have been gifted 60-mile-an-hour e-scooters by their parents are ruining it for the rest of us. Yeah, I've seen some of those, and they're quite proud. You know how it is, the young lad. I talk to some of them around here, because once you've got a scooter, anyone else who's got a scooter who you pass stops and talks to you. Gets a bit annoying sometimes. I've been on my little scooter going around. I say, "Oi, mate!" And I look around, there's like 2 or 3 lads. I don't know, about... Sometimes they're really young sometimes, some of them, about 15, 16, 17, 18. Sort of around that age, all of them. He's like, "Nice scooter, mate." And I'll stop when I turn around. I said, "Yes, this is a pure one." "Oh, it's really nice, mate." I actually think I've got a pretty basic scooter, pure electric. It's not the new shaped one. It's a Pro 3 Max, I think it's called. Something like that, a Pro 3 Max. Anyway, and I'll start asking you questions about it and all that. And it's great. People just come and talk to you. But there was one lad. And before I bought this thing, I was asking people who had scooters whenever I passed one, or, you know, I'd ask, "Excuse me, mate, are you ever stopped?" and all this. I was asking all this, and they always said no. Anyway, this particular lad, he said, "Oh, I've just bought a new scooter." I saw him, third time I saw him, I said, "I just bought a new scooter." I said, "All right. how's that one? He said, does 70 mile an hour. And I'm like, you're joking. He said, no, 70 mile an hour it does. I don't know if it does or not. I said, have you got a helmet? Oh, I'm thinking about getting one. I'm thinking? There's no way I'd get on that. I'm telling you, mine does 15 mile an hour. And that's fast enough for me. I say that. Once you're at 15 mile an hour and you've got a fairly long stretch in front of you, you very quickly become used to that speed. It doesn't feel like 15 mile an hour. I mean, you couldn't run 15 mile an hour. That being said, there was a bloke on the treadmill the other day. He was doing 20k an hour. I don't know how that relates to miles an hour. 20 kilometres an hour he was on this running machine. He was a young lad, about 25, I suppose, something like that. But 15 mile an hour to me is fast enough. You fall off a scooter at 15 mile an hour on tarmac or concrete, you'll soon know about that, won't you? Eh? And Komitsky says, with the speed limitations of 15.5 mile an hour, I would argue it should be pavement cycle paths, same as bicycles instead of roads. Well, like I say, Komitsky, we're very lucky round here in Bracknell. We've got a very good cycle network around here, so I don't need to go on the road at all. When I go to my sister's house, and I've only taken it up once, and the idea was I'll be able to use the scooter to get to her house from my caravan to the luxury Waterside Media Centre from the caravan, and I've done that journey twice now, and on there I do go on a road, and it's a country road. It's not very wide. And I don't know if you know these country roads. They're 60 mile an hour, most of them, which is crazy. I don't know why country roads are 60 mile an hour, but they are. And I do go on there, right? And that was the long road I'm talking about. I'm on there for 25 minutes, half an hour, and it's dead straight, river next to me. It's a lovely, lovely road. I used to cycle it, and it blooming hard going that is. Hello to Bertie Stevens. Hello, Bertie. I've kept him company as he's heading to Heathrow. Where you going, Bertie? Oh, haven't you got a No, you're going home, aren't you? Because you don't live here anymore. Is it Poland you live now, Bertie? Bertie Stevens is one of the people that owns Reach On Air. It's kind of his hobby. They don't make any money there. It's kind of his hobby to own the station, as it is my hobby to be able to do a show on here as well. So Bertie Stevens with us tonight. Good luck at Heathrow. Hope the plane takes off. Hope you haven't got crumbling ceilings. Haven't used that dodgy concrete making Heathrow, have they? Mick Davenport doesn't like the scooters at all. The bane of his life. Yeah. It was quite funny, actually, when I was at Czech Republic. Thank you. Oh, Bertie, are you really? Me and my mate are thinking of going to Prague for the Christmas markets. Do you know anything about those? Is that where we want to go for the Christmas markets? Prague. And there was a particular basilica there as well that I might have... Or was that in Budapest? Actually, the basilica might have been in Budapest. That's Hungary, isn't it? Prague. No, we're thinking of coming to Prague for going to the Christmas markets there. Eh? Bertie says, I really hope the plane isn't used out of concrete. When I was on Facebook, I was mentioning to John, when he just called in a moment ago, phone lines are now closed, boys and girls. Okay, no more calls, please, my darlings. Thank you very, very much for those people that called tonight. And in particular, Ray, who tried to call tonight, but we just couldn't hear him for some reason. I don't know. Well, here we are, Bertie. Christmas markets are amazing in Prague. Worth going to, says Bertie. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm kind of expecting him to be wanting to go there, sort of, I think, end of November. I tell you what, Bertie, if we go, perhaps we could meet up. Be quite nice. Meet up somewhere for a little... cup of coffee or a tea or something like that. Be quite nice to meet you, Bertie, because I've never met Bertie over in and then you can tell us where else to go apart from the Christmas markets. We like architecture, buildings, that sort of thing, you know. All right. Yeah, I was mentioning to John when I went on the 100%. Thank you, Bertie. Have a safe trip there. All right. on Facebook, and I was putting up I was looking at what scooter should I buy, and then someone sent me a picture of one of those disabled things. I don't know. It was quite serious. He says, "Oh, I've got one I'm selling." I thought, "Oh, I wonder what this is going to be." And it was one of those disabled scooters. There's Dave Squires. I mentioned you earlier, Dave. Dave Squires with you after the 11 o'clock news here at Reach on Air. All right. Gary, where are we? Gary, kids like that around here driving from one alleyway to the other. He's over in Northern Ireland there. They don't stop to look left and right when they're supposed to when driving from one alleyway to another. This is the thing, Gary. And they just seem to think they're indestructible. The trouble is, when one of these kids are on these electric scooters, bikes, electric bikes, anything, they go straight for that red light. When the other lights, certainly down the Euston Road, the chances of them getting killed are fairly high, I would think, by a large lorry coming across the other way who can't stop. And it's not the lorry driver's fault that some idiot on a scooter has just gone through a red light, which changed 5 seconds ago to red, because they haven't looked. The kid gets killed, and the lorry driver will go to prison because it's his fault. His light was green, but because it's just so wrong. I'm sorry that stupid people die in accidents, but it's when it's their fault. Why is the lorry driver or the car driver going to prison? It seems completely unfair to me, but that's the law, isn't it? That's the law. There you go, Mick. I drive and I have idiots on scooters and bikes cutting in front of me. Yeah. It's built in Scotland. Hello, built in Scotland, Mick. Welcome along to the show there. Gary Ross has always got short dog leads with choke collars as easier to control the dogs. Yeah, those long extendable leads are so annoying. They really are. And that's whether you're on an electric scooter or bike or just simply walking. Often the bloke or the lady with the long dog lead ends up wrapped around her legs. Oh dear. High grade gaming, self-propelled bikes can go at any speed. Look at that. I suppose there's a way of de-restricting my pure electric scooter, is there? High grade gaming, although once again you'll lose the warranty straight away if you was to do something. I'm happy at 15 mile an hour. 15 mile an hour. Yeah, that's all right with me. 10 mile an hour is 15 kilometres an hour, is it? Oh no. What's 15 kilometres an hour? 15 mile an hour, 15 and a half mile an hour. I believe that's about 24 kilometres an hour. I'm sure it is, because on the little control panel on my electric scooter, you can change it from miles an hour to kilometres an hour. Kilometres an hour is like 24 or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, wow. Okie doke. How long have we got left today? We've only got about 3 minutes left on the show today. Just a reminder, gang, I can't be with you next week. I've got a meeting down at the church, okay? So I'll be with you the week after on the Tuesday night, which is actually, I think that's when I'm up at the Caravan by the looks of it. Oh, no, it's not, no. Caravan is end of the month, and hopefully I'll be able to do the show from there this time, which we have done once before, haven't we? Sorry we couldn't be on TikTok tonight, but for some reason the camera wouldn't work. I don't know why. Probably I'd do a computer restart and it'll work, but once we've started the show, we can't do that unless we absolutely desperately have to, which would mean we'd go off air. Terrible. Right, I've got another couple of little stories for you here. And supermarkets now in the Daily Mail, including Sainsbury's, Morrison's and Aldi, are now searching shoppers who use self-service tills amid the rise in thefts. Well, honestly, I mean, what did they expect would happen? You put the self-service tills in, you have immediately, at a stroke, made it easier for people to nick. What a stupid thing that is. But they don't want to pay the staff. That's the whole idea of it, you see. The more of these automatic tills go in, the less staff they need. They can lay people off left, right and centre. What they want is the big bloke right at the top. He would love it if he could sell all this stuff and literally have no staff. They're not bothered about their staff. They can't wait to get rid of them, can they? The Daily Mail. Customers claim they have found themselves under close inspection following an increase in the number of bag checks at certain stores before leaving the premises. Well, of course they're nicking. The thing is, like, these people that nick from shops, they have no shame. They are not bothered. Let me tell you, every time I have shopping and I have to go through a barrier of some sort with a little alarm type affair there, I'm terrified that for some reason the alarm's going to go off. I haven't got anything. I've not nicked anything. But you know how it is. They leave the little tag on or something doesn't quite work as well as it should do and the alarm's gone off and everyone's looking. Beep, beep, beep. Everyone's looking at Chris Reardon. What has he nicked? But these people who go nicking, they have no shame. Have you seen some of these videos of people literally walking in stores in America, filling up their bags and walking out again? And the staff are like zombies hanging around the door and then looking, just watching these people walk out with stuff, which makes it more expensive for you and me to walk out when we go and pay for our stuff, doesn't it? Oh, it's just horrendous. It really is. Shoplifter teals. That's what they're called, Gary, I think. Yeah. Anyway, boys and girls, time to go. Thanks ever so much for joining us on YouTube. There'll be another show for you in 2 weeks' time here on YouTube. All right, good night there. And...